Hey, good morning and welcome, 39 Below on the Go Elite members. Going to do a video today a little bit in the by the numbers section of the website. If you haven't been there yet, I recommend go there. I put a new little, just a short paragraph here about financial float, but I want to, about the financial float and why you should have it. And I want to go ahead and, let me fix this here, and do a video on it. As always, one take video is just off the cuff and we just chat. So speaking of that, if you haven't emailed me about chatting or anything, you can send me an email. Just send me your store name or whatever, and I'll take a look. And I really want to give you some advice or my honest opinion. Again, I don't hold any shots back at all, so I'll let you know exactly how I feel and think about things. And yep. So anyway, I want to get to the financial float number. The reason why you should have a financial float, and I have it right here. I'm going to read a little bit off the screen, but what I wrote about a financial float and why it's important to maintain, and there's 4 points that I put. There's probably more, but you should have at least a financial float is basically having the dollars set aside in your business account. If you don't have a business account, you have to get one. You should get one. You should organize your business as an LLC or whatever entity that you choose to. Again, get your licensing, make sure taxes are squared away, and all that good stuff. But you should put about 90 days of expenses aside into a financial float. So if your business expenses are $1,200 a month, just times that by 3, and that's what you should put away. What is that, $3,600? So, see, I passed 4th grade, but you should always have that money set aside. Now, why? It's for the basic sustainability of your business. I mean, it's for the health of your company. And a lot of you probably thinking, man, I can't put. I'm scraping along here. That's why I'm getting advice. How am I going to come up with $3,600? Don't get a loan for it. Don't go to payday advance. Just slowly put it aside. It means if your profits that month was $1,000, put away $100, and just keep building, keep building. Your financial float. I mean, it doesn't have to be at directly right now when you start at 90 days. You want to grow to that point. So if this is going to be your business for the long haul, you want to make sure you have that 90-day float by the progression of your long haul journey, I should say. So even if you put away for the next 12 months $100 and it's $1,200 and something unexpected happens and you need $1,000, you had that aside. It's just like savings. It's like with the economy collapse, everyone was saying you should have 3 months or 6 months of expenses of your living expenses just to cover the unexpected. The same thing in business, but the float works for different purposes too. The float sometimes, after you get to a point, you're going to eat some of the float, and then you repay your float. Of course, the number one thing is it'll cover unexpected expenses, keep your business afloat during the down. There's downturns in like your business cycle. Not every month is going to be like a December month where you're going to have a killer amount of sales. So you got to keep that in mind. You're going to have your turns where your business cycle is going to be slower, and you can use those funds to get inventory, or if you see a special item that you really want that you might have not had the cash for, you can pull it from your float, and then when that sells, you replenish the money you've taken, keep your profits. Secondly, the float is important to cover the times that PayPal and eBay put a hold on funds for pending cases. We've had cases that exceeded 60 days, and they were a large amount of dollars. I remember we sold a Tag Heuer watch for some time ago. Gosh, this was probably about a year back. I think it sold for about $1,000 or close to it. We had another one. We had a clock, an Atmos clock. I don't know if you've ever seen it. ATMOS is the brand name. Phenomenal clock. Sold it again. That was like maybe a $1,500 sale, but the buyer put a case in. It was missing a piece. It's like a little piece that basically locks the part of the clock. And we had the piece. We had it somewhere in a drawer, and we ended up we just overnighted it to the gentleman, and the case was lifted. But of course, that took a couple of weeks to free up the $1,000+ of cash. The watch too. The watch was mailed overseas, so as you can see, the case took a long time, 60 days or more. $1,000 is quite a bit when you're just starting out to lock up. And eBay and PayPal will hold on to that. So never again. And also another good point is don't keep a lot of money in your PayPal account. Once you get to a point where you feel your float is okay, where you're going to cover your fees, just transfer your money. Get the card. You can debit. I think it's $400 a day. You can take it right out. Transfer the money over to your business checking account and hold it in there because they can't freeze that. Okay, but unexpected cases that might pop up, returns, they're going to freeze the money right there on the spot. So if you were expecting to use that money and you can't, you can now dip into your float, pull the money out. When that money unfreezes, you replenish the float. Number 3 is the float will assist to cover normal monthly expenses such as overhead, payroll, fees, all that stuff. So if you're to that level where you have 1 employee, 2 employees, you have your son, daughter working for you, and you owe them $500 that month, but you're waiting on money to free up or sales to happen. You got 7-day sales, people are bidding on it, you got to wait 7 days and maybe 2 or 3 days after for them to pay, and then by the time it clears and shipping, it could be 14 days, but you got to pay your person, whoever the person is, $500. Your float will pay that, you've replenished the float. Again, the float, it just like my cup here, Turvis tumbler, it floats around. See that water? It works all different purposes. Keeps you hydrated. And what else does water do? I don't know. But and then last, this is the most important. Your float's going to act as your payroll. It's going to pay you. It's going to pay you. Okay. So again, if you pay yourself at the end of the month, beginning of the month, quarterly, weekly, however you choose to pay, as long as you're making the profits, you can pay yourself and replenish your float. So those are 4 key points of why a float is important. There's plenty more, but that'll get your mind going and that'll get you thinking about it. Hit up the Elite member site, click on Buy the Numbers, and everything new on that site, I'm going to put in red letters new. There's videos that are new, all that kind of stuff. This video will go on there. It'll say new. So, all right, we're still working. Also, PSS, we're still working on the, it's going to be another click-through site where you're going to go to, and depending on the level of skill you're at, if you're a novice, if you're 0 to 6 months, I think we're going to do 1 year and out, and we're going to do people who are way beyond that. We're going to separate it. Each stage of the game is going to have their own little site connected off of our member site. So you're not reading things that if you're a big-time player out here in like the market, you're not reading stuff that a beginner is just getting their feet wet on. So, all right, we'll keep working on that. Any questions, always send me an email, anthony39below@gmail.com, and take care. Brian, I got your email last night. I'll be getting back to you about that. You're asking for our systems. That'll be on the new site, as I was talking about, so we're going to have that up and running shortly. So, take care. Always contact me if you got any questions. Thank you. Take care.